Sandra, welcome to Cat on the Loose.
Thank you.
Before I tell your story and I ask the 10 million questions and we dive into this super important situation, I want to tell you guys out there that are listening to Cat on the Loose that for those of you who don't know Sandy, she's not a celebrity.
No.
She's not a multimillionaire.
No, I wish.
She's not an heir.
Yes, right.
You are a crazy, hard-working woman, and I decided to bring you on the show representing millions, and that's the sad part about this episode, millions of women out there every single day that go through a similar situation.
Yes.
Really tough, absurd, unfair divorce.
Correct.
In a very broken system.
Yes.
We have a friend that is going, she cannot even participate right now because she's going through a similar situation and she's still going through divorce. So she was afraid of coming and getting her situation complicated. I went through total chaos 7 years ago through the courts. So we are going to talk about your case because I know there are millions of women out there going through the same, and I really want to shed light in this situation. And we are trying really hard to bring in a very famous, successful divorce attorney back in the show to help us because I think the more we talk about it, hopefully we can help other women out there.
That sounds so amazing.
So thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you for having me and allowing me to just voice my voice and share this story.
I mean, 1,000,000%. So let's start from the get-go. You were married for a really long time, right?
Yes, 18 years.
18 years.
18 years.
That's long term.
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
We have 3 kids in common.
You have 3 kids. And how many years ago you decided to get divorced?
In 2020.
2020. This is the end of 2025. And you're not divorced yet.
Correct.
It's still going through the court. But guys,
it's still going through
hang in there because the plot thickens. It gets worse. It gets worse. So it's been 5 years.
Yes.
And it hasn't been resolved. And you're going to explain to us why. But let's go step by step. Why did you decide to get divorced?
For many reasons.
Many reasons.
I don't know if we have enough time for that.
Just in a nutshell.
Of course, the nutshell.
You decided
Infidelity. Substance abuse. And then just the fact that, raising 3 children, in this culture, working full time, as a social worker and just trying to maintain the household and, prioritizing my children's emotional, mental well-being. It was beyond too much, especially when, the children's father was always traveling like about 20 days out of the month.
Oh, wow.
And I was working full time and trying to navigate and provide and be present for my children.
Okay. So you mentioned it. You have been a social worker forever, correct?
25 years.
Fuck. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Because they don't pay you millions of dollars a year. We know that much.
Yes.
You make a decent salary, but it's not a fortune.
No, it's not. It's not a fortune.
It's under $1 million a year. Oh. It's under $500,000 a year.
We can go beyond. It's significantly less.
Significantly less. Yes. I mean, we know the government doesn't pay well.
Correct.
And you've done this for 25 years. So when you were married, did your husband have a job?
Yes, he did at the time. He did have a job.
But he had to travel for the job all the time.
Always, constantly.
And he just left you with the kids and la la la. Okay, so you decided, you're like, I can't take this shit anymore.
Can't take it anymore.
So you go and you file for divorce.
Correct.
Why? So now that people start understanding your story, because I know a lot of women out there are going through the same. What made it... Like the first step that you realize, oh my God, this is not like a black and white, okay, I'm done, I'm divorced.
Correct.
What made it complicated?
He's not giving me the divorce.
He refuses.
He refuses to give me the divorce, and he has parents that are financially wealthy.
So he comes from a really rich background.
Correct.
And you don't.
No.
You're an immigrant like me, right?
Correct, yes.
Where do you come from?
My parents came from Colombia.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, one of my best friends is from Colombia as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you come from... A simple family.
Yes.
Immigrants, hardworking.
Yes.
And your crazy ex-husband comes from a very privileged background.
Yes.
And why does he tell you he doesn't want to give you the divorce?
It's all about control. Because I was with him for 27 years. So it was just a culturally conditioned situation that I allowed. myself to be in. And when I decided to stop this and make a change and begin to voice my voice. And
which is very hard, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Very hard.
Because I was culturally conditioned to check the box.
Yeah, same.
You prioritize, your spouse, your children, your home, your work, and you will be the last priority.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I did. I was the ideal wife, mother, and I don't want to say like in an egotistical way, but I was a trophy wife. My kids always looked sharp and clean, and
you did everything right.
I did everything
supposed to do, quote
that
unquote.
I was culturally conditioned to do.
So when you said I want a divorce, he's like, I'm not going to sign.
Right.
That's it. Okay, so you guys go to court and you start fighting. Now, this is where the plot thickens, guys. When she told me her story, I was like, what? He basically, you tell me in your own words, he says he doesn't want a divorce, and then somehow you have to start paying for his shit.
Yes. So in this whole divorce process, we've gone to 4 to 5 mediations, a trial settlement conference. We've gone to 2 courthouses. The case was originally in the San Fernando Valley, but then it gets transferred to, I don't know if I can say the courthouse, Pasadena courthouse,
I mean, it's public record.
It is public record. You're right. It is public record. And we even gone through 2 judges.
Free, but I need a sip.
I know, right? Don't we all need some love here? Whatever way we can get
freaking
love.
Chaos. Go ahead.
And so with all that, what the biggest part was, the big turnaround for him was that he was court ordered to pay for child support, because it did take me...
Okay, so he was court ordered to pay for child. So he started paying child support.
In 2023.
Wow. So for 3 years, he wasn't paying for shit.
No.
So what was the turning point that the judge started telling you that you had to tell that part of your story?
So we tried,
because it's so freaking unbelievable, guys. Like,
correct.
This is how the system treats women. And again, we're not talking like about a celebrity or a multi-millionaire, because I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, but how about when women do that to men? We're going to get to that. But I mean, you're just like a salaried government employee.
Correct. Yes. And so what ended up happening is just he found a very creative way to abuse me emotionally and mentally, was by using the judicial system and constantly requesting for continuances. Now, continuances are not given the next week or in a month. It's usually you're going to have to wait.
Can you explain to people what that is for those who don't know?
Oh, so a court, you're always scheduled a court hearing. And then you have, if he has an attorney, which he did. Just for a continuance, because the attorney wants to go on vacation. It's granted. And the continuance is like, you're going to get another court hearing, but it takes about 6 to 8 weeks. So you're now waiting another 2 months. And it just becomes a repeated cycle over and over again. So he does
this on purpose.
Oh,
just
it's intentional.
To keep the thing going.
Or in another reason is not submitting documents, that is required by the court in order to make a decision in regards to child support. And then it gets continued again. And so then it was just repeated continuances.
So at what point, so he moved out, right? You were living in your house.
Yes.
That's another part of your story that I thought is total chaos. You're living in your house. You are paying the mortgage. You're paying all the bills.
Correct.
He's not helping at all.
No.
Although he has a job.
Correct.
He's healthy, right?
Yes.
How old is he?
52.
Wow. So he's young. He's a young, healthy, middle-aged man.
Educated as well with the degree.
From a great background, and he decides he's not going to help you with anything. So you're paying the mortgage, like the email you wrote me. You're paying mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and taking care of 3 kids.
Correct.
All on your own.
Correct.
And all you want is get divorced. And this dude is not giving you a penny.
No.
Until the judge ordered him to pay you child support.
Yes.
So he started paying you child support.
Yes. In 2023, he began to pay child support. And so when his wages became garnished, that's when he became very angry about that. An animal. And then he found a very creative way to get out of paying child support, and that is by being unemployed.
Oh, really? So if you lose your job, so he quit his job?
Apparently,
What was his job?
He was in sales in the alcohol industry.
Okay, so he quit his job on purpose, you think?
Well, he says he was laid off.
Okay.
But you don't have any documentation to confirm that.
Okay. So he probably quit his job on purpose.
Yes, and 4 days later, he filed for a request for order hearing.
Yeah.
And that is to now request for me to now pay child support and spousal support.
Fuck. Okay, so he stopped working, but it's his kids.
Correct.
He doesn't want to help the kids.
No.
That's crazy.
Yes.
And you told the judge that.
Yes, we did.
And what does the judge say?
In the meantime, I was paying the property taxes and the homeowner's insurance, and as well as the mortgages with my own separate income.
Wow.
And then, for him, he believed that paying child support is also paying for school tuition. I was as well paying half of all the bills, school tuitions, my kids,
God knows how you afford all this stuff on your own, you know, with the salary.
Right.
But then, okay, so he stops everything and you're living in your house and the judge doesn't help you.
No.
When you go to the judge and you say, but, Your Honor, look, he comes from means and his family's rich.
So when he became unemployed in 2024, I had to make the most challenging decision was to release my attorney because I was no longer able to afford paying her.
They are a fortune.
As well as receiving any child support because he was ordered to give child support. And I decided to take this challenge independently. And because we went through so many court hearings and mediations and trial settlement conferences where we couldn't come to an agreement, the case then proceeded to trial setting.
Okay.
So I had to release my attorney because, to be honest, the mental and emotional well-being for my children is a priority. I had a daughter that was graduating high school. I had my son graduating from 8th grade. There was no way I'm pulling my kids out of private school.
No, and listen, I think everybody in the world knows a half-ass attorney costs a fortune. A good attorney costs a huge fortune.
Significant
It's almost impossible for a working mom with 3 kids to be able to afford all this crap. So you go and you're like, I'm going to defend myself.
I'm going to defend myself as pro per. And he, even though he's unemployed, he was still able to have...
And where was he living, Sandy?
He was still living in the San Fernando Valley.
He got his own apartment?
Yes.
How was he paying his bills? You don't know. You don't know anything.
No.
You have probably his family's helping.
Absolutely, 100%.
Because he comes.
100%.
Did you tell the judge that?
Yes, we did.
And so, what is the story of the house? Because that's the part that broke my heart.
So the part is, I put pretty much 20% down payment of my home.
Yeah.
It's a single-story home. It's a little small home in the San Fernando Valley.
But you bought it with your hard work.
Yes. And also because, I was... yes, I did buy it. So what ended up happening is that he requested to receive Watts credit. So Watts credit is when one party that is residing outside of the home is wanting the renter's value of what the house could have been if it was rented out. And the judge ordered him 100% Watts credit and denied me Epstein's credit, which is the having credit of preserving the home from going into foreclosure.
Because you've been paying for the
for 5 years.
To make it more easy for people that don't understand the lingo.
Yeah.
He moved out. You're living in the house. You're paying all the bills.
All the bills.
And the judge says that he has rights in the home.
The financial means of the home.
The financial means of the home. And how, meaning you have to pay him?
I am now ordered to pay him about $300,000 in Watts credit. And I was ordered by the court to sell our home. This was our children's home.
Wow.
And regardless that I've been paying it for the last 5 years.
And you prove, obviously you show all of that. So when you arrive in court with all these documents, like, look, Your Honor, I'm paying for this shit by myself.
Yeah.
This asshole is not helping. What does a judge say to you then?
Actually, there's a law of Watts credit.
So he looks at you and he's like, whatever, that's the law?
It's Watts credit and he's entitled to it. What the interesting part is...
But how about if it's half? Why is he entitled to all of it?
Exactly. That's the catch.
Yeah.
There's not one case in the state of California that's been published where one spouse receives 100% of the Watts credit. Here in California, it should be 50-50. But he received 100% of the Watts credit.
And why?
That's what was ordered.
But do you talk, like when you go to court, are you allowed to look at the judge and talk and ask questions?
So I then retained an attorney because that's that's pretty much the entire equity, and that there's just not enough equity of the house once it's, sold to, although he says you can get your down payment back.
Yeah.
But the attorneys are saying he has priority of receiving the Watts credit because he had to live outside of the home, which he voluntarily moved. There was no restraining order. There was no move-out order. He voluntarily moved. Yeah. But he was granted 100% of the Watts. And when I went back to court, I then retained an attorney to help correct this because this has to be an error. Right.
So, but you didn't.
We did.
Oh, you did.
And the judge dismissed my attorney. The judge repeatedly said, counsel, orders were made. Counsel, I'm giving you instructions on how to proceed to the next court hearing. Yeah. And
so basically they didn't listen to you and your attorney.
No.
So now you have to sell your home.
Yes.
And how much is the home worth?
$1 million.
So the home is worth $1 million. What is the equity?
It's about $350,000.
Which is so you got to get this money and give it all to him.
Correct. Because you also have to pay for all the additional fees to sell a house.
Yeah, and how about all the mortgages that you paid? There is no law that protects you and gives you this money back.
Well, technically, I'm entitled to Epstein's credit.
Right. So how do you get that?
You can't. He dismissed it. He was silent on it. And the other thing is, it's very challenging. I would, since it went to trial, I have to request for an appellant attorney.
Right.
And with all the research and the interviews that I've had with appellant attorneys, they're like, if you do not have an order on Epstein's, you cannot file an appeal.
Really?
On a non-existing order.
So there's like basically in layman's terms, they said there's nothing you can do about this situation. Mm-hmm. And you talk to $1 million attorneys. If there is a divorce attorney out there listening, let us know, because this is one of the most absurd situations I've ever heard in my life. So you're having to sell your house, leave your house with your kids, and then where are you going? You're going to have to start from scratch, like renting an apartment.
Yes.
And he takes all this money.
Correct.
He takes $350,000, $300,000.
About $300,000.
So he's going to get a $300,000 check and put it in the bank for doing absolutely nothing.
Not paying one, because the judge ordered him 59 months of Epstein's credit.
Wow.
Of Watts credit, 59 months of Watts credit.
And you don't think and you cannot take it to another judge?
No, not when it goes to trial.
You cannot appeal this decision of his credits?
Of the Watts credit?
Right.
But that's the other issue, is because it wasn't indicated in a minute order, and because a judgment hasn't been signed, there could be no movement. A judgment needs to be signed, the fact that he's giving him 100% of the Watts credit. And the judge, to this day, we are in November, this trial hearing was in June.
So it's almost 6 months. And why do you think that is? That he's
negligence.
This judge is like a total asshole. I mean,
it's just negligence.
The court system, because as immigrants, right? I mean, and I always say that when I tell my story, and tell me if you were the same. Like, you were born here, right?
Yes.
I wasn't, but I came when I was very, very young. And I became a citizen, I've been here my entire life. It's my home. But I always had this dream mentality that I'm like, I live in the United States.
Right.
And it's the best country in the world. And we are so protected. I really believe up until my husband died and I had everything taken away from me because the courts didn't enforce the will. Correct. I believed the laws would always be respected and applied.
Right.
I was the most naive person in the world. I really, really believed in my heart, like, nothing can go wrong. if you have a will, all you have to do is go to court. They're going to read it. They're going to do the right thing. If you get divorced, it's like, I really believed until, this is why I believe you, because it freaking happened to me.
Yep.
And when I tell people, they're like, what do you mean?
Yep.
If you had a will, why? And I said, exactly, because I took the will to court and they ignored every single paragraph of the will. It took me 2 years arguing and kicking and screaming at the judge. I remember when I tried to open my mouth, she would say, shut up or I'm going to hold you in contempt.
Yep.
Hold you in contempt means I'm going to throw you in jail.
Correct.
That's how the judge would talk to me.
Yes.
And finally,
and it's intimidating.
Exactly. Like, who the hell wants to be thrown in jail? You know, for speaking up. So when I heard your story, I'm like, the system is broken. And for some reason, most of the time, the women are the ones that get fucked, pardon my French.
No, you're absolutely right. And not only that, because I was pro per, legally representing myself without proper legal representation, I was then ordered to pay $20,000 of his attorney fees.
Fuck. That is outrageous. That is, especially, this is the thing. I don't know how a judge like that sleeps at night, because this guy comes from a rich family. You told me his parents are really wealthy. So like he has something to, like this grown ass 52-year-old man. We're not talking about somebody who is disabled.
Nope.
We're not talking about a retard. No. We're not talking about somebody with a low IQ with no job. We're talking about a guy from a really sophisticated family. So he has all this people behind him, and he's taking your money. The judge orders you to pay for his attorneys. Like, how the hell does a judge like that sleeps at night doing that to a woman?
And on top of that, I have 73. Now, my kids are older now. So one is already aged out of the system because this has been going on for nearly 6 years.
Wow.
And the other one is nearly 18. So I have my 14 and a half, 15-year-old son, and I'm now ordered to pay him child support, even though I have 73% physical custody.
OMG.
And I'm a social worker.
How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you make enough money?
You don't.
And and so let's put this on record. Your parents are not rich.
My parents are deceased.
Your parents are the same. My parents, I don't have a family to fall on.
Neither do I.
I'm the same as you. Like when I lost everything, and I'm not kidding, I lost my pants, my assets, my bank accounts, my cars, like you name it. I literally lost everything. I had to start from zero. I was penniless. I was jobless. My friends with big quote, they ran away like rats because nobody wanted to help. I was totally on my own, but I don't have kids.
Yeah.
So, but I could barely support myself and my two dogs. I know what an uphill battle it was for me to rebuild from scratch. You know,
lose everything.
This is 7 years later, and I'm by no means rich millionaire like people think I am. You know, I'm doing better, but I know how hard it was. I cannot imagine going through what you are going through for so long, and supporting your kids, supporting yourself, going to work, and I mean, you get a salary at the end of the month.
And still having to go to court and deal with it.
And still having to go to court. What do his parents, have you tried talking to his parents?
No.
You don't want to?
No.
Why not?
We're into this for over 6 years.
Because I think 6 years. But you never tried talking to his parents?
Oh, no. They are supporting this.
No, I'm sure they are, but I would have tried. Yeah.
The interesting part, sorry for interrupting, his mother went through the same exact thing.
Are you serious?
And you would think she would
with the ex-husband?
With his father.
With his father?
With her ex-husband.
So his parents are divorced?
Yes.
And they both have money?
Well, his father's deceased, but his mother married a wealthy man.
Oh, okay.
Remarried a wealthy man.
Okay.
Yes.
So obviously, is he an only child?
No, he has one other sibling.
Because he's behaving like this brat, right?
Yes.
Where are they from? Are they from California?
His parents were from Peru. He was born here in the United States.
But he's an American.
Yes, he's an American.
And to this day, did he get another job?
Yes, he just recently got another job.
Finally?
Yes.
What do you know what the job is?
In sales, same industry.
And you cannot go to the judge and say, hey, look, why am I paying child support to this guy since he has another job?
Well, so when I discovered that he retained employment, then I did request for a hearing so I can stop.
How did you find out?
My kids.
So your kids are on your side, I would hope.
It's a really challenging position for them.
They go back and forth.
But they go back and forth. But and
I'm sure that's the thing. He must twist the story, right?
Correct. And it's so
I don't
hard.
want to divorce her. Mm-hmm. He probably must say shit like that.
Yes, she wanted this.
She wanted this. Yeah. And to this day, by the way, you're still single, right? It's not like, because I know women get so judged. And that's another thing that bothers me, because when I know a lot of people see the situation, maybe a lot of people are going to listen to the episode and they're like, oh, she must have had another guy, you know, that's the only reason why she left. They always try to, because this is very unfortunate, but it's true. And I'm saying most of the time, I know there are exceptions, but I'm saying most of the time, somehow the woman gets blamed. Like if you ask for the divorce, right? They're like,
absolutely.
She has another dude.
Oh, yeah.
She must have a lover.
Yes.
She has some dude helping her pay the bills. But it's not your case.
No.
You're still single.
Still single.
You're still working super. Look at her smile.
I know, right?
Obviously, you deserve another love.
Of course, we all deserve another love.
We all deserve another love.
Just in general. Yeah.
I mean, it's been many, but the reason why you left him is not because you found another guy.
No. Oh, no.
You left because you couldn't put up with his shit anymore.
I couldn't do this anymore. I couldn't do this anymore.
And obviously now we know why, because obviously this guy is like a douche.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine putting anybody through that, especially like, the mother of his kids.
Right. And that was one of the decisions I had to make, was that, I didn't want my daughter to marry someone like that.
How old is your daughter?
She's 19 now.
Yeah, now she's an adult.
Yeah. And she's, they're learning by observations.
1,000,000%.
And I didn't want her to think that's a healthy marriage. That's a healthy relationship, because it's not. There was no partnership.
Yeah.
There wasn't. And you shouldn't stay in any marriage because your culture expects you to. Because it's not healthy for you, to the individual. It wasn't healthy for me. And if I'm not healthy, how could it be healthy for my children?
I'm glad that you brought this up, because I completely agree with you, and that's a big deal in Latin cultures for sure.
Exactly.
Like you say, we are raised to be compliant, to keep our mouth shut.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, be a nice wife and shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Basically, right? Don't rock the boat.
No.
Like, imagine me, like, because I didn't have kids. So imagine, for me, it was like the pressure, right? Why aren't you having kids? Why aren't you having kids? So you're supposed to get married really young.
Yes.
You're supposed to have kids. You're technically not even supposed to work in a lot of Latin countries to this day. You're supposed to just stay home with the kids, cooking and cleaning and everything, and the guy works. So in your case, you were actually lucky in the sense that you marry a guy that was supportive of you going to work.
Right. But I still had to do all the cooking, the cleaning, and making all the medical, dental appointments, taking them to their school programs, practices. I had 3 kids very athletically involved in their sports.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You're superwoman. 3 kids. 3 kids. Like I said, I didn't have kids. And then I ended up marrying a guy. My husband was American, from Boston, Italian descent. And of course I didn't know in the beginning, but he ended up being insanely controlling. He told me in the beginning that because when I met him, I worked. Because I always loved working. Yeah. I love it. But when I met him, so he was like, oh, I'm super supportive, go have a career, go work. But obviously, as the years went by, he started cutting me off to the point that he didn't want me to work. He didn't want me to do anything. He barely wanted me to leave the house. He was insanely controlling. Yeah. So for 15 years, in my case, I ended up being more and more and more financially dependent on him. He controlled my friendships. He controlled like every step I took. So in my case, as much as I didn't have the kids, but I lost my freedom, which is very hard as well.
And I'm sure you lost yourself.
Oh, 1,000,000%. And I think this is such an important conversation, because I always say, I hope to God, no woman out there takes as long as I did to leave, because it took me 15 years.
Oh, yeah. I understand. It took me 3 years to have the courage to file for child support.
To have the courage. How long did it take the courage to leave?
Exactly. 10 years.
So for 10 years, you are sitting there thinking, I want to leave. I deserve better, right?
Mm-hmm.
I deserve better. This is not right.
And I'm going to give him a chance to change.
That's the problem.
They don't
and that's
change.
a big mistake. Yeah, they will never change for you.
They won't.
Never. And so many women make this mistake and stay in unhappy relationships. And they always use this phrase. I used it. I'm sure you used it. But I love him.
Mm-hmm.
But I love him. He's going to change for me. But I love him. His love is going to make him change for me.
Right.
But that day is never going to come.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And their other phrase is like, I recall, it could be worse.
It could be worse.
And I wish and encourage any woman that I hear say that. Don't say that.
I know.
Don't say that.
It's so funny. I got goosebumps when you said that, Sandy, because when my mom was alive, the few times I try to complain, like, oh my God, this is really tough, my mom would say, don't rock the boat. It could be worse. Because my husband was so wealthy.
Right.
From the outside world, they thought, what are you complaining about?
Yeah.
You have this princess life. You live in these mansions. You have the cars, the jewelry, the trips. So I remember she would always say, it could be much worse.
Yes.
What if you don't have money? What if you lose everything? Don't rock the boat. And it's interesting you said that because mentally it took me so many years to gather the courage and say, you know what? I'm not going to put up with this shit anymore. Like you just said,
Yeah.
I deserve better. And I think we should not be afraid of the unexpected in order to just stay in a unhappy or abusive or toxic relationship. You got to go for it.
You do. 100%.
But
it takes just a lot of courage. And,
it does, right?
And the right support system. If all you need is, anyone. It could be one person, that
Who was your support system? Your family?
My therapist.
Your therapist.
She was great.
Listen.
She's great.
I'm glad you're being honest.
I'm being honest.
I love that.
And that's the thing. It took me years. Like I said, 3 years. You don't understand. It was so hard to file for divorce.
I understand.
Especially not having, my mom or my dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like the first one to do something like that.
Yeah.
In my family, in my circle of friendships. I'm the first one to take a chance, but I just couldn't do this anymore. And you know what? It really had to do with the fact that my daughter was a teenager and, she's growing, observing, and I didn't want my sons to think this is healthy. This is how you treat women. I hope
your sons don't ever think, exactly, because that's the freaking talk about a horrible role model for kids.
And then the generational cycle continues.
Yeah, horrible. But I will tell you, I know how hard it was because I went through the same. And many times people judge like, oh, if you're unhappy, why don't you leave? Why don't you leave?
It's not that easy.
It's because, like you said, mentally, you're trying to save the marriage. You love the person. You are wondering about the consequence and everything. Sometimes it does, in our case, unfortunately, took years for us to gather the courage. But I hope if it's a woman out there listening, get whatever support, because the support system doesn't have to be family. Like in your case, like you said, a therapist, a friend, do whatever the hell you have to do so you gather the strength. And because I think the sooner you get out, the sooner you can start rebuilding.
The sooner you can start healing.
Yeah. You're insanely poised and calm about it, considering he still has not given you the divorce. And you still don't know.
No, at this point, I don't know when. It's unfortunate, and I've done.
It's outrageous.
I made requests to the court to, legally separate me, which was denied.
It's
and it's
beyond to think that 5 years. How long? 5 years.
5 years. 2020.
It makes me wonder. Like this judge person, it's a man. We're not going to say his name on the show, but it makes me wonder if he hates women, if he's in a miserable marriage. If it makes me wonder. I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy conspiracy theory, but I actually think this might be possible. I swear to God, if his family is paying the judge off. I swear to God.
I know.
Like I'm not, because in my case, the way things happen to me, and that's a whole other episode, I swear to God, to this day, I believe that the people that stole everything from me, they were paying my attorneys to not help me because they were getting a cut.
I mean, it's just unheard of.
I really believe that.
I mean, like I say, I was pro-per. No one...
you were the first one in the whole state of California.
So this is given 100% watts.
Right.
And everyone says there's no way he's going to order you to pay attorney fees. Don't worry about it. You're representing yourself. If you can't afford legal representation, how are you expected to pay for his legal representation at $500 an hour, which is a lot?
How does the court justify that? Like they see you have a salary and you do beautiful work.
Because I have a job.
Yeah, but you have a job and you do beautiful work, by the way.
Thank you.
Can you tell people what you do?
So I protect children and families. Yeah. I'm a children's social worker.
Yeah, yes. That's incredible. Very difficult work, very taxing.
Very challenging work.
Very challenging, mentally exhausting.
Emotionally exhausting.
You're an angel considering you've been doing that for 25 years.
I know.
So you tell this judge all this stuff and it doesn't move the needle to your side.
No.
So he's like, okay, this asshole is jobless at his free will because he's healthy.
Yep.
Totally capable of getting a job.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
But you're like, you got to pay for his shit.
I have to still pay for his shit.
How outrageous is that, guys? Like, how outrageous is that?
Because I stayed employed.
That's insane. That's insane. And if you were crazy, like, I'm going to quit my job, you can't do that because then you end up homeless on the street with your kids.
There's no way. And I've exhausted, a significant of my life to my work.
It's unbelievable. You know that I don't know if you know that actress Denise Richards. When you told me your story, just a few days later, her husband filed for divorce. Similar situation. Very healthy, grown-ass, middle-aged man. He goes to the judge like, oh, I want whatever crazy, I'm $150,000 a month because she makes the money. She makes whatever, $200,000, $250,000 on OnlyFans a month, and I took the pictures. I deserve the lifestyle. I deserve the money. I deserve this. I deserve that. And then a lot of people said, oh, she's the rich one and he's not. But it made me feel the same way. Why the fuck, pardon my French, because I get so mad, this grown-ass middle-aged man cannot get a fucking job.
Right.
Go support yourself. They should be embarrassed.
Absolutely.
Asking for women to pay their bills. I don't even understand that. Like, let's say he gets a new girlfriend. What does he tell a new girlfriend? Like, oh, yeah, my wife is supporting me.
Oh, yeah. And he goes on vacation trips.
With you on your dime.
Well.
Or his family.
His family's dime. And then now that I have...
And you see, like, on his Instagram and shit.
No, I don't follow him.
You don't follow him?
No.
So how do you know he goes on vacation and stuff?
My children.
They tell you everything. They spill the tea. They spill the tea on him. But obviously he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't.
Oh my God.
You know, I mean, to him, it's like, he doesn't care as long as he still has some type of control, which he does, because I'm still controlled by the judicial system of having to keep going back to that courthouse.
And you have no idea. So when are you going back?
In December.
And you have no idea if they're going to grant you the divorce, if they're going to squeeze more money out of you. They obviously don't give a fuck that you're selling the house and you're going to have to rent, obviously, a much smaller place.
A significantly
smaller place. I mean, I don't even know what to say because I'm not an attorney. I told you we're trying to bring an attorney into the show because I want to ask a professional opinion. But I hope we shed light on, and if anybody out there has a crazy story to tell, please, by all means, share.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I know you're sitting here today representing millions of women out there who are literally afraid of leaving because they don't want to be in your situation. So something needs to be done in the system in order to make it a little more fair. Correct. And I'm saying to women because women most of the time end up being the victims. And I know a lot of people are going to say, like even our friend said, oh, people say, how about when it's the girl that divorces the guy and asks for all this money? Well, number one, it's not the subject here today, but I'm not saying women that marry guys and ask for all their money are doing the right thing either.
No.
But it's completely different if it's, let's say, a woman that was married to a guy for a long time and had kids with him, and he was home for 15 years doing nothing, right? Then, of course, she needs money to support herself.
Correct.
So it's completely different when most women, I know there's exception, guys, but when most women ask for support, it's because usually they were depending on the dude for a really long time. But in your case, that's not the case.
That's not the case.
At all. And for many, many women out there, they are like you, like us.
We're just average women.
Well, you're not average.
No,
you're superwoman. You're not, and it makes me happy that you didn't lose your smile.
Oh, sometimes we have to just be grateful for what we have, you know, because, you know, in the midst of all this, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's been very challenging.
Oh my God, I'm sure.
Very challenging.
Sandy, what people see, like we're sitting here, right? And if you guys are listening to the audio episode, make sure you go to the Kat on the Loose Show channel on YouTube so you can see her beautiful face. But what people see here is the final product. Like we wake up and like my mom used to say, we pull ourselves by the bootstraps and we go fight. We work, we have bills to pay, we have projects, shit to get done. We're not filming the struggles, the nights that we cry, the nights that you freak out, you pull your hair out, you're like, what the fuck am I gonna? There were some days, I swear to God, I really thought I was gonna go homeless. I started making plans like, okay, how am I gonna sleep with my dogs in the car?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. But I don't put that shit on social media, right? We put the shit like, hi, here I am. Like,
the facade.
Yeah, but I'm very proud of you as a woman.
Thank you.
And a Latin woman that you look fabulous.
And
you're smiling and you're putting yourself out there because
I'm trying to just stay, you know, I'm grateful that you gave me this opportunity to be able to voice my voice because it's happening.
Yes.
It's really happening. And, you know, it's happening to just, you know, women. And it's like, it's not right. I mean, we are trusting the judicial system to like set boundaries and follow the laws and do what's right. But it's like,
we're going to try to make the judge listen to this podcast. I'm going to find you. I'm going to hunt you down. I'm going to email this episode.
Right. I mean,
because come on, dude, what is wrong with you guys? You know, right?
I mean, when I received the news, the impact, I mean, it's like you just felt so, I mean, I just felt so hopeless. Like I lost everything. The struggles, the turbulence, the trials
but
that
listen,
I've gone
you didn't
through.
Because I know obviously losing the material things is insanely painful, losing a home. I know because I lost everything.
Right.
But at least, thank God, you're young, you're healthy, you're gorgeous. And I believe in karma. I really believe in karma. You don't? No. You should start believing in Lady Karma because she's a bitch. And I believe in energy.
I believe in energy. Everything is energy.
Yeah. So he's going to get his karma. And I'm sure you're going to rebuild. And I'm sure you're going to.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to rebuild. One brick at a time.
That's it. Let's go, girl.
Let's go.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Oh my goodness. No, thank you for having me.
I hope you're out there dating, you're out and about. So I hope you find an incredible man.
Thank you so much.
Love.
That's very nice.
I really do because you deserve it. And I know that
we all deserve love.
Guys, if you're watching the show and you want to, look, I'll be Cupid. I'll hook you up. Sandy, if you live in California, preferably, right? Because we don't want to remove. But if you don't live in California and you are willing to relocate, hit me up and I'll connect you guys. Let's find you a love.
Let's find love, more love.
And we're going to get this judge hopefully to listen to this episode. But thank you for sharing your stories. And guys, if you're going through something similar out there, be strong. One step at a time, right? Baby step, but it's
one baby step at a time.
Unfortunately, it is heartbreaking how broken the system is. It really, really sucks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. It was such an honor having you. Guys,
pleasure.
Be safe out there. And really, the sooner you leave, the sooner you can start rebuilding the life of your dreams, right?
And
you don't need a divorce on paper to move forward. You're already moving forward.
I've already moved forward.
Good for you. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Guys, I love you. Cheers. Drink some love. Thank you.
We all need some love for sure. Cheers.
And I'll see you guys again very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're the best.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you. Yeah.